with the youth, the children, about my journey. It is such a wonderful time. As Valerie indicated, I am her classmate. We graduated in 1982. But we went to school together. We lived on the same side of the city, which is the east side. Okay. But I'm from all over the city. I love the city of Chester. Again, my name is Dawn. I'm the Honorable Judge Dawn L. Vann. Born and raised here in the city of Chester. Graduated in the Chester Upland School District. We graduated in 1982. I furthered my education. Went to Morgan State University, which is an HBCU, which is a historically black college or university. Go Bears. Graduated from there in 1986. When I graduated from Morgan in 1986, you weren't even born yet, right? Yes. When I graduated from Morgan in 1986, I then came back to Chester. One thing about Chester, I love it. I always knew that there was something for me to do here in the city of Chester, be it work in public service as I do, or something. Something just drew me back here to Chester. Chester was always and was going to always be my home. I further went into corporate America, but there was just something more about the city of Chester that I knew that I had to actually do something in public service. Chester, the Chester Upland School District had given me so much. They encouraged me. They let me know that that I could do anything that I wanted to do, be it through the teachers, be it through mentor programs such as this. I just knew that it was something that I needed to do here in the city of Chester. Fast forward, 2007. I ran for office for Magistrate District Judge. I won the election. Did I know that I was going to then become legendary, meaning I'm the first African-American female judge here in the city. This is the oldest city in Pennsylvania. I'm sure you all know that. So to be the first African-American female judge in this city after over 125 years, that is not alarming, but that was really surprising. But I'm honored to be the first African-American magisterial district judge in the city of Chester and the only African-American female judge in the county of Delaware. Now that is really alarming, but it's true. So what that tells me is there's room for all of you, especially you ladies. You understand? There's room, because I stand on the shoulders of many, being the first African-American female in Delaware County and in the city of Chester especially. Chester has a saying, what Chester makes Chester. That is the truth. You may hear that. Have you all heard that saying before? No? Okay, well, I'm sure. Live long enough, like maybe in the next 5 days, you'll hear it. What Chester makes Chester. That means there are a lot of good that come out of Chester. Good that you can actually put your hands on. Of course, you all know some of the basketball players. We have a park at the Waters Park. She was from Chester. It's just a lot of good that has come out of Chester. Myself, as a magisterial district judge, we are the first point of contact, meaning when there is any issues in the city, we are the first judge that you see. So that means we have to live here. We have to be amongst the people that we serve. So we'll see. So if someone comes in front of me, I may know their mother. I may have known them before they were born. I may have known them when they were born. So we're the first point of contact. Why that is important to really be knowledgeable of your community, because you know your community. You live in your community. That's one of the benefits of being a magisterial district judge, because I get to serve the community that did so much for me. I get a chance to be with the community that watched me grow. the community that nurtured me, because it takes a village to raise a community. I know you've heard that. You heard that, right? Okay. So that is one of the highlights of me being a judge. So my job as a magisterial district judge, we handle all kinds of cases. We handle civil cases. That's when someone wants to sue someone. We handle landlord-tenant. That's when people go to court for rent. We handle traffic. We handle disorderly conducts. We handle criminal cases. We handle murders. We handle, some high-profile cases. But as a magisterial district judge, we are elected and we are chosen. I always say chosen. Although we go through an electoral process, we are chosen by our community because I have to serve the community which I live in. There's a certain jurisdiction. We have 3 judges in Chester District Court, and I bring you greetings from my colleagues, Judge Spencer Seaton and Judge Wilden Davis. Someone know Wilden Davis or Judge Davis or Judge Seaton? Okay, they're my colleagues, and I'll tell you a little bit about our position as well as judges. So when I have cases before me, I'm familiar with some of the people that come before me. However, I'm also familiar with my community. So being familiar with your community, you are able to know the temperament. In other words, you know the atmosphere of your community. So when you are making certain decisions, of course you have to go by the law. You have to go according to what the law says. And the law is black and white. And I often say that the law being black and white, you can't be in that gray area. In other words, you can't do people what they call favors. Oh, I know your mother. Or I know your sister. Oh, can you give me a hookup? Those type of words, those type of statements are not tolerated in the judicial system. So, but the benefit of knowing the community is someone comes in front of me, a student, and I get a lot of students because we have truancy. So I get a lot of students, and some students, sometimes they may not go to school, they may have a certain issue, it may be different things. I'm able to really kind of look at that student. I can look at that student, I can listen to the student, and they'll tell me maybe why they haven't been going to school. They may get up late, go to school, miss their first class. It could be all different kinds of reasons. But then there could be other reasons too, like things that happen in the community. Peer pressure. Me being in this community, Chester is a community like none other. I mean, whatever can happen in any urban city happens here in the city of Chester. And we as judges have to be mindful of such incidents and events when we are actually making decisions for community service or some type of volunteerism, or even this mentorship program here. We could actually give some of the students the opportunity to come to this mentor program through the courts, but not really through the courts. It would be my suggestion, listen, you can go to the mentor program, you may be acting up a little bit, go to the mentor program as opposed to being out there picking up trash. I don't really think that picking up trash is something that, community service, that's what happens. But my community service would be an alternative, such as having students come to this mentor program, and you can do and learn a lot more. But that's one of the benefits of being a magisterial district judge, because we are judges. Number one, we do not have to go to law school. However, we are certified to do our job. And it's a real stressful certification, but we don't have to go to law school. However, we will still do the job that those who went to law school and became lawyers and then became judges have to do, because we have to be elected by our peers, or I call it being chosen. Because if someone thinks that you are honorable, think that you are honest, think that you are fair, they will then choose you, but in this sense, it would be an electoral process. I've been a judge for 10 years in the city of Chester. I was elected in 2007. I was re-elected 2013. I'm sorry. I was re-elected in 2013. So I'm on my second term. Soon to be on to my third term, which will be up in 2019. Being a magistrate district judge has been challenging, but more rewarding. I see some situations that are disheartening, as well as I see some definite improvements. I see some cases that come back to me. Students come back to me and say, you know, Judge Vann, I'm glad you made that decision. I may not have liked it at the time, but you really helped me. And those are the cases that really make this job that much more rewarding. One thing about this job, you have to you have to really go all the way back to the beginning. I go all the way back to the beginning of my college life. I was almost called to do this job. Everything that happened before I became a judge led me up to being a judge. However, as you all sit here as students and knowing whatever your career is going to be, you have to start now. Don't wait until you're in the 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. You have to start now. What are the ages here right now? What's the youngest? This baby is the youngest, this young man?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how old are you?
11.
Okay, and what's the oldest? How old are you?
17.
Okay, 17. Okay, from the age of 11, you have to begin. So by the time you're 17, you're on the track of what it is you want to do. I knew that I actually thought I wanted to be Oprah Winfrey. I thought I was going to be on TV. My major was communications, which is a wide major. However, I also knew that I wanted to be a public servant, because being a judge is a public servant. We serve all people, not just black, white, Republican, Democrat. We serve all the people. So I say that you have to begin now, from the age 11, to think about what it is you want to do. Begin to be under a mentorship program such as this. Get under the umbrella of whatever it is you want to do. If you want to be an attorney, then get under the mentorship of an attorney. You want to be a judge? My door is wide open. As a matter of fact, I'm inviting you all right now to my chambers as soon as possible, just to come in from the day, from the beginning of my day to maybe the middle of my day. Walk into the courtroom with me. When that clerk says all rise, I'm inviting you all, because I want you all to come and see it from that point. Because you know what? When I look out, especially when I look here, I see me. I sat exactly where you're sitting now. I see me. In other words, you can do anything you want to do. You know what I mean? You can do anything. The sky is the limit for you all right now. So, but you have to begin to think that way. If there's something that you want to do, whether it be a beautician, rapper, whatever it is you want to do, you have to really work your craft, and you have to work at it, and you have to work hard at it, no matter what. But I'm here to really tell you that, we here in Chester have been told a lot of things. It's so funny, because some people, even your peers, may tell you, you can't do that. Do not believe that. If you want to believe nothing, don't believe that. Because you can do anything you want to do. People, when they look at me, if I walk in a room just like this, they'll say, oh, what is she, a teacher? What is she, whatever? And then I'll go like this. I might walk in a room.
Nice.
This changes things. This definitely changes things. When you see this, right? This changes things. And the reason why I say this changes things, because
That's a drug thing you gonna do.
this is This changes things. So when I walk in a room like this, people might say, oh, she's directing the choir. Okay, over here. But guess what else? Then when they see this, they know. This is the gavel. She means business. You understand? So I said that, and I put my robe and all of that on is because when people see me, they say, you don't look like a judge. And then I say, I've been a judge for 10 years. What does a judge look like? You know? And I say that because I'm a judge 24/7. Whether I have the robe on, whether I have the gavel in my hand, or whether I don't. But the reason why I demonstrated that is, you're not gonna always look like what you are. And in the African American community, I'm sorry, I'm always thought to be not what I am. Because anytime somebody tell me, you don't look like a judge, and I say to them, what does a judge look like? Because I've been one for 10 years. I invite them to my chambers, and I let them know that I am a judge, and this is what I do, and I'm of service to my community, and I got here through hard work, and it starts right now. 11 years old, 17 years old, you get ready to graduate, young lady? Okay, well, you graduating in 2 years? Okay. From the age of 11, school, getting to school on time, attendance, very important. Very, very important. You have to pay attention, you have to, we used to have things called citizenship. They don't have that anymore. You get a U, a E, a U for unsatisfactory, a S for satisfactory, a E for excellence. But now what they do is give citations. You act up in school, they write you citations, and they put you in the system. And they bring you over to see me. See, they didn't do that before when we were in school. Did they, Val?
Nope.
They didn't do that. We got suspended or whatever. But now they will suspend you for 10 days and then bring you over here, and then you have to see me for not knowing, or as they say, acting up. Right now, you have to begin to think about what it is you want to do for the rest of your life. You have to start beginning right now at this point. And I'm sure through this mentor program, it gives you those thoughts. And you have to begin to get the tools. I'm sure through this mentor programs, you're getting that as well. But you have to begin to think like that right now. I understand the peer pressure. If I don't understand anything else, I definitely understand the peer pressure, which is good about being a magistrate district judge, because you are amongst your community. I live in my community. I don't live out in media. I don't live in Springfield. I live right here in Chester. So I know the temperament. When something happens in the city, it affects me just like it affects the next person. My neighbor have an issue, even though she's the neighbor to a judge, that can still be my issue. So I tell you all that you have to begin to think right now. You have to begin to work toward your future right now. If it's in your thought process, if it's in your activity, you have to begin to be under and get under, as you are now, this mentorship program. Like, I'm so really, 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 really happy to be able to be here. And Val, I just want to thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
And you know what? This is not going to be my last time either, because I want to see some progress. I want to see how you all take whatever it is I've said to you and how you all have worked it in your own individual lives. And then you'll be able to tell me, Judge Vann, when you said X, Y, Z, I took that and this is what I did. Not that that's an assignment, hint, but it could be. And one thing you all have to know is being very respectful, being attentive to what it is those in authority are saying. That's very important, because if you do that, you will never ever have to worry about coming to see me. I definitely don't want to see any of you in front of me across the bench with my robe on, with my gavel, That's why I invited you all to come to my chambers. I'm sure Ms. Trotter can arrange that, and the staff here can arrange that. I'll have a reserved area for you, just waiting for you. And we'll go into court. They'll say all rise, they'll be rising for you as well. And I just want to just emphasize that you can do anything you want. And I know you hear that all the time, but you really can. You really can. Who would have thought? Not who would have thought. God thought and God knew. So I'm not even going to say who would have thought. I'm just glad to be able to be of service, and I'm glad that I've been called to do exactly what I'm doing as a magisterial district judge, and pray to continue to do so until, God says something different. And I know I'm looking at the whole room, but I cannot help but stress this little table right here. Because you young ladies, I'm gonna tell you something. As young ladies, you wanna always think about how you can make a difference, how you can be that next Judge Dawn Vann, not so much me, but make a difference and leave your legacy as young ladies here in the city church. And the reason why I'm looking at you is because, again, I see me. I really see me when I see you all. And so do not be discouraged, and do not let anyone tell you anything different than that you're great. These young men over here, young men, just know that you stand straight, keep your head up, always look for leadership responsibilities, because you're not followers. The same as young ladies, you're not followers at all. But I'm gonna tell you something about me and my court. One thing about my court, I always like the attention. So I'm gonna tell this young man to sit up. I'm gonna tell these two young ladies to sit up, because when I don't think I have the attention, that bothers me. You know what I mean? That bothers me. In my court, very quiet. You definitely can't do that. I know that I'm only here to speak with you, but it's just a learning experience, and you need to know that when anyone is speaking to you or speaking before you, you have to give them your undivided attention. And if you can't, be real good at pretending, because you just might learn something. Again, I'm so happy to be here. Do anybody have any questions? Let me see the hands. Oh, good. Young man in the back.
What does it feel like to be a judge?
It is the greatest feeling in the world. It's the best job ever, I would always say. Thus far for me, it is, because it's public service. Because I get a chance to make, well, really, I'm gonna tell you, it's so heavy. That road may be light in, actually in material and weight, but it's heavy in responsibility. It is like a ton. Because I'm making decisions on people's lives. I am making a decision on whether somebody go to jail or whether somebody be at home with their family. So it feels it's very rewarding, but challenging. And I welcome the challenge, because I know that it's what I've been called to do. Young lady, I saw your hand. Yes.
Was it hard for you?
I'm gonna tell you what was hard for me. It was hard, only because I'm here in the community. When I see someone that comes in the court that I may know or be familiar with, not really knowing them personally, but maybe knowing them, knowing their mother, knowing them, or them knowing them to even watch me grow. It's hard only because I know that I have to make probably decisions that would probably be, it's going to be the law, but it's going to be something that may help them, maybe in the future. So it was, in the beginning, it was, for anyone, it would be somewhat challenging seeing people that you know or familiar with in a terrible situation. And when I tell you I've seen people in terrible situations, just terrible situations where I have to make a decision on that. If I don't think that I can make it objectively, that means if I don't think that I can make it and be within the right mindset, then I take myself away from it. I would have another judge I would request that another judge hear it. But that was the only thing that was hard. Other than that, I just kind of welcomed the challenge because I so wanted to serve. I'm such a public servant that is the highest point to me, as a magistrate district judge, because we don't really work on parties, Republican, Democrat, it gives me the opportunity to just be of service for the city, period. Yes, sir.
When you're in court, you have people yelling at you.
Oh, my goodness. But I'm gonna tell you something, and I really hope you all get the opportunity to come and visit my court on a Tuesday, which is my most busiest day. And you'll get a chance to see that, but I'm gonna answer it now, and you're gonna say, Judge Vann, you said X, Y, Z. You get some irate people because they are incarcerated. They are locked up. They're coming in, they have shackles on, they are in jail. So you got some people that come in that are upset. You have some people that come in with health issues, all kinds of things that may have them outburst and all of that. Do I judge them on that? No, I'm still going to a court of law. I mean, if you come and make some actions toward the judge, that's a totally different thing. But yeah, you have some people, because it's not a cakewalk coming in court for matters. You know what I mean? It's really not. You following up that question with?
When they somebody yell at you, do you like give them more years?
Well, let me tell you this. The most I can give as a magistrate district judge, because we're on this level, is 90 days. And that's for a DUI. That's the most that I can give as a magistrate district judge. We decide whether that case will go to media, for like a trial. So the most I can give is 90 days. But something can happen where they can get 30 days, and for some people, 1 hour, like me, 1 minute behind bars or in a jail cell is too long. So when they make outbursts like that, they may get a citation, they may get removed from the court, but rarely, unless it's something that is harmful toward the judge or toward someone in court, I would rarely, give some type of sentence of 30 days. Yes.
As a African American judge, how are you respected amongst the other judges?
Okay, the question was, as the African American judge, how am I respected amongst my peers? I wish I would have brought my picture of the judges, and you would have really gotten a clear look at the ratio of African American judges, male African American judges, female African American judges, which is only me, to Caucasian male and female judges. Let me answer that question very directly, and I believe in being direct. Being the only African American female judge can be interesting. I'll use that word. Am I respected as a colleague? I am respected as a colleague, but is my job different from my colleagues? No. However, I don't perform my job any different than what my colleagues are supposed to. However, I am an African American female judge in the city of Chester. So with that being said, that is so huge because my colleagues are judges in Springfield, Radnor, which are more affluent areas in Delaware County. However, the respect factor is there. We are cordial and we're respectful of our jobs. However, do I feel sometimes that there could be a difference because I'm an African American female? Absolutely. Disrespected? No. But just regarded differently? Yes. So, that brings me to this, before I take that other question. We have, for the first time ever, 3 African-American judges in the city of Chester. The judges represent the city. That's the first also. So right now during these years, and these judges, of course, we live in the city. The most tenured judge, that means the judge that's been there the longest, is Judge Spencer Seaton. He's been a judge the longest, and then there's me, and then there's Judge Walden Davis. So being in a city, being in Chester, and having 3 magistrate district judges that know the city, know the community, and able to represent on that particular level and do the job effectively. And I really believe that with that being said, we can do the job, not that we do it more effectively, but we can really do it effectively because we know our community. And some things can be taken into consideration, some things can be looked at, because believe me, being a magistrate district judge in the city of Chester is far more challenging than being a judge in Radnor or Springfield, because of the community is totally different. Yes.
How long has the longest person been there?
Oh, okay, Judge Seaton's been there for maybe over 20-something years. Judge Spencer Seaton. And when you all come, you all want to meet them too, because anytime we invite students, we let them meet all the judges, because not too many places you can go, excuse me, and touch a judge. Some places, judges are so far removed that you cannot go and put your hand on them. We are available. We are right here. Our doors are open door policies. You can come over there. Appointments aren't really necessary. However, in some instances, appointments are definitely necessary. However, we have an open door policy with everything that goes on here in the city of Chester, because we love it, and we love our jobs, and we love what we do.
So you don't want us to come on like when it's a trial or a murder?
Well, you would not. However, no, I would not have you come. Wait a minute. I would not have you come on a matter, because I don't do trials. We do what is called a preliminary hearing. And what a preliminary hearing is, we decide at a preliminary hearing whether there's enough information for it to go to trial. So in other words, we get that case first. We'll listen to all parties, the Commonwealth, the police, the defense attorney. We listen to that as judges, and then we make a decision whether it's enough information, and that's called prima facie. Whether there's enough information or enough information for it to go forward to media for trial. So a preliminary hearing for a murder case, I wouldn't invite you. Why? I wouldn't want to expose you to that, because those type of cases are can roll over into the community. I wouldn't want you to come. I wouldn't invite you there during that particular case. I mean, you'll come when there's some prisoners or whatever, or you know what I mean, some cases, but never would I invite you when there's a murder case, because that's just too intense, and I just really wouldn't want to expose you. You know, I would want you to come even on a Thursday when I do landlord tenant. Either a Tuesday or a Thursday, I would allow you know, the staff, Ms. Valerie, to make that particular decision. Okay? Yes, young man.
Do you deal with serial killers?
Serial killers would come for a preliminary hearing. Again, we decide whether it's enough information for it to go to media. So, I mean, again, we have criminal cases. We have all kinds of cases. They come to us first, and then we decide whether it goes, unless it's federal. And I want to hear from some young ladies. I want to hear from some more young ladies as well. So you all ladies, start thinking. Start thinking of something to ask me, okay?
What was the worst case that you had?
Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't like to think about the worst case that I've had. I'll just say that, we get some of the worst cases. And I don't wanna be specific about the worst case that I've had, but I'll just say that we get some bad cases. The cases that you hear on TV, as magistrate district judges, it comes to us first. So we get some really bad cases. Yes, young man in the back.
My mom be watching Judge Judy.
Okay. I watch Judge Judy too. As a matter of fact, stand by. Judge Judy is TV. Okay? And I want you to know that Judge Judy is an attorney. She is a bona fide judge. But guess what? If I call somebody an idiot or an imbecile or whatever, I will be before the Judicial Conduct Board and removed from the bench. So when I say that that's TV, that's TV. When you come to my court, you'll see Judge Vann, real and in person, and how a courtroom is conducted in real life, away from the cameras. Yes. And I want another young lady to ask a question too.
Did you ever think
Just ask a question. You telling them to ask a question? I like that leadership role right there. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Go
Did you
ahead.
ever think, did you ever think in your head that you were like, oh wait, I don't know how this gonna come out. Did you ever think in your head that you wanted to do another job? I mean, get another job or stay in your job?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question because how that can come about, did I ever think that I wanted to do something different? Absolutely. Maybe not too long ago. Because, Google me and you will find out a lot of information. But Google me, okay? So not too long ago, yeah, Google me. The World Wide Web is the World Wide Web. Not too long ago, I felt like that. And it was because I was in a challenging position. But I stood and I stand and I prayed. And I persevered. And I'm still a magistrate district judge. And I pray and I ask God, whatever your will is, let it be done. So, yeah, I did think that I wanted to do something. That's because I was getting discouraged. That's because I was getting discouraged, but not without getting encouraged. So yeah, I thought about it. And do I have a plan B? Or do I have an addition or an amendment to, for the rest of my life? Because I'm 53 years old. So do I have an amendment or a plan B or something like that? You got some wrinkle in your eyes when I told you I was 53. Yeah, I'm 53. The x-rays will show it. But yeah, so I did think about something else. But by far, right now, it's the best job ever. And I absolutely love it. Yes.
Have you met like Judge Judy or Judge Vann?
I almost had the opportunity to meet Judge Matthews because he was here in the city, and Judge Hatchett. They were actually here in the city, right across the street at SEI Chester. I never got a chance to meet Judge Mathis because I missed the point. I think I was on the bench myself, and he was visiting the prison down here. And another time he was here campaigning for